I meant to put like my shirt inside out. Or
something. It's too late now.
Dang it. We're wearing the same clothes we had in the last episode.
Yeah, we
That's Belgian.
Since it's part 2, we figured, well, we still look the same, like the characters in the movie.
Yeah, that's good.
We're
just in the same attire.
We didn't wash the clothes.
Yeah.
That's
same
because
smell.
We're still in the same studio. We haven't left. We're just recording part 2. I did put my hat on backwards.
So there, it's better.
So it's better.
The popcorn's more stale.
All right, Robin Williams, part 2.
Roll it.
Movies and chill with Zach and Dill. That'll get my giggle box going.
Movies and chill with Zach and Dill.
Our pet heads are falling off!
Movies and chill.
Great Scott!
With Zach and Dill.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Movies and
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
chill.
Well, sorry!
Zach and Dill.
Spartans! Repel for glory!
The great Oz has spoken.
Movies and chill.
Get to the podcast now.
We don't even have to do a fake laugh.
No, really, that was a
We're gonna
good,
get a real
laugh.
There's a great guy to work with that laughs like that.
Just like that. It's a hearty.
Like, seriously.
It's a hearty laugh.
It's so weird. Everyone looks at him, too. It's like, that can't be real. And he's like, you know, like.
That laugh.
I gotta laugh. He's gotta laugh so many times.
I developed that fake laugh in homage to Jeremy Furman. If you're out there, Jeremy, that's for you, bud. That's the way you genuinely laugh.
We lost him to a little Benji Buttons disease.
He had a little reverse Benji Buttons.
All right, we're here doing part 2 of Robin Williams.
Nobody knows what that is anymore. It's gone.
We didn't really, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure some people.
We really didn't have too much. I was kind of running down the list of Robin Williams movies, and we were shooting the breeze over each one, what we thought about it. I'm not sure why I got so excited about the word breeze.
It's because this one.
Call it pizzazz. But after we were talking about Good Will Hunting, What Dreams May Come, there were 2 other very serious movies that he did. Patch Adams. Have you ever seen Patch
I don't
Adams?
think so.
Only seen parts
Remind
of it.
me.
Okay, so Patch Adams, he's a doctor who doesn't like the way hospitals are set up and that they don't care for the patients. They look at them as like...
Is that the one where he's wearing the clown nose?
He's got the clown nose.
Okay.
He looks at it like, why should we take all the money and make people poor just for getting well? And he puts like a humanistic side of medicine. He opens his own practice with his girlfriend, and it's extremely sad. It's a very sad movie, and it was kind of an offbeat movie. I don't think it did extremely well, but I just remember feeling like it was another really good Robin Williams performance.
I mean, it's one of the more popular ones, even though it didn't do so well. Like, a lot of people know it.
Okay.
Cult following.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Like a niche kind of movie.
His nose squeak.
Yeah.
That kind of
It
thing.
was the squeak nose. He used it to cheer up the cancer patient kids.
Well, then it sounds like a good movie.
It was till a bunch of people died. Spoiler alert. People died
At a hospital.
at a hospital.
Sometimes people die.
The next one was a serious movie, but in a completely different way. I don't know if you've ever heard of 1 Hour Photo.
No.
That movie-
That was different.
Woo!
Yeah.
That to me, because we've made a lot of Jim Carrey comparisons, that to me is the equivalent of Jim Carrey doing the number 23.
Which, yeah, it's a weird movie.
It's weird.
Very weird movie.
It's off color for Jim Carrey. But this one, I guess, is a little different because Robin Williams is the villain. Like, he is a serial killer in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's bananas. And the title might suggest 1 Hour Photo. Robin Williams works at a 1 Hour Photo, like a Walmart or a Kmart. And he takes the pictures he develops and he, like, obsesses them. And he, like, stalks people. And, yeah, it's kind of dark. But I put this movie on the list because I really believe that Robin Williams is one of the most versatile actors of my lifetime. Like, he can do anything. You can put him in any role, and he would nail it. The eye test for me would be a movie that he wasn't in. That could you picture him in it? He was almost the Riddler in Batman Forever. Could you picture him as the Riddler?
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's
You want to talk about Jim
especially-
Carrey parallels?
Yeah, well, that's because if you look at the original representation, like on the TV series for the Riddler, he wasn't ever it's the same type
That's
of
tough for
person.
me.
Depends on
Because
what
I
kind
was-
of version of the
I
Riddler
wasn't a
you're looking
fan of Jim Carrey's Riddler. You know what I mean? Like, it was very goofy.
It fit the movie.
It did, but I was like, man, wouldn't it have been cool to get some of that Jim Carrey seriousness in that role? I think he could have really took that to another plane.
I think there were
But-
moments.
That movie was goofy, so that's what you get.
Well,
Just like
and that again, like
Tommy
I said,
Lee Jones Two-Face.
that
Goofy.
that could be just basically
Think about Tommy Lee
character-
Jones playing
the-
that character seriously.
the character of the
It was
Riddler.
super cool.
They
Would have been
want
awesome.
they want him to be that way, you know.
Right.
Sure.
That's
That's
Joel
why they should
Schumacher.
Sure.
But like you said, if
Which
what-
Batman is that? Is that Val Kilmer?
Val
Is
Kilmer,
That's
yeah,
Kilmer.
yeah.
Val Kilmer.
That's Vilmer Cow.
yeah,
no,
but
that's,
I could
the
see
movie's not good because the direction wasn't good. The writing wasn't
Yeah.
good. They completely went off color for what Tim Burton had set up, and they went for like the whole fantasy side of Gotham. Like, you remember that was the start of like that movie and Batman and Robin when they had these Batmobile chase scenes where we're like driving on top of like 50-foot statues in Gotham.
Yeah.
just so happens
Just
to be
so
perfect.
weird.
Yeah.
That was
They were drivable, by the way.
Yeah.
You could drive up someone's shoulder.
That was
yeah.
that was the start of Kiss by Rose, right? That's Kiss by Rose. No, that's George Clooney.
That's George Clooney. Yeah,
No,
Okay, that's George Clooney.
Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Michael Keaton.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Kiss from a Rose.
No, it's not.
No.
No,
You
No,
got
it's
some
not.
Benji
It's
buttons.
not.
no, that's
I got
Prince.
some Benji.
Uh,
Prince was the first one.
Yeah, first one. The second one didn't have any music.
That's right, because Kiss from a Rose was playing with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was she Vicky Vale? No, Vicky Vale was in the first one.
Yeah.
She was Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible comic movie.
she should have been in that movie.
One of the worst lines in that movie, in a movie full of bad lines, was when Jim Carrey, he hears her name as Chase Meridian, and he says, "And what a terrific pursuit you must be." And it just falls flat. And
Yeah.
It's a terrible line.
Well, the thing is, like you said, could you see Robin Williams doing that? I said, yeah, if the idea was to straddle the line between
To be Frank Gorshin.
corny and serious, yeah, I think he could have did all
Are you
that.
trying to be Frank Gorshin from the
Yeah.
Adam West Batman?
Yeah.
Then
Well,
that's fine.
yeah.
I think Robin.
It depends on, like I said, it depends on how you want the Riddler to be. Do you want the corniness and the seriousness? Because Jim Carrey's version of it was more just all corny for the most
Yeah.
part.
Have you seen Gotham?
I
Okay,
have not.
so if you've seen Gotham, you know the guy that plays the Riddler. I don't know his name offhand, but he's a fairly new actor. And he played it very serious, like sociopathic.
Yes.
That's the Riddler now. That's
Yeah.
Frank Miller's
Yeah.
era
I like that Riddler.
Riddler.
Now they put in some
Dark.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put in some other things like they threw in some other stuff that I think didn't need to be a part of it.
No.
But I thought that Gotham was a great idea, but it was like in fast forward. Like Ra's al Ghul trained Batman in like what, a half an episode?
Yeah.
Like it's
I mean, he had
there
stuff
was
to do.
I get that, but it's like there was no substance to the show because they didn't take any time to build any character.
I agree. They
At
tried to
all,
stuff them all
except
together.
for Penguin. Penguin was the only person I felt like they did any character development
Well,
with.
they developed the Riddler
Sure,
because, I mean, there were several seasons where he's talking to himself in the mirror. Like, he's got serious
absolutely.
problems.
Yeah. But
Those were the two characters.
I felt like when it came to actual character development, that was the one they were really like more than Bruce Wayne. I felt like they
Yeah.
really built Penguin up in that.
Well, the problem with a show like Gotham is everybody wants to see the villains.
Mhm.
But you don't have a lot of those villains until he's Batman.
It's like they like Dr. Freeze, but who they had play that. He was in it for an episode, 2 episodes, and then
He had an arc.
like it's like bring him in, get him out, bring him in, get him out, like conveyor. And it's like, man, if you guys would have sat on that character for a while, that'd be really They had really interesting villains in that.
They did.
They had very
You
interesting.
could have brought
villains.
out D villains, like
Yeah.
just deep in the bag.
Yeah.
And it would have been gratifying.
They brought in a very sinister Bane. It was kind of cliche.
I didn't like the way they did Bane.
Well, it's because they kind of copied. What's the actor's? God, I can't forget his name. Venom. Who's the guy who plays that actor?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
They copied a little bit of Tom Hardy's Bane from that with the mask and everything, but he was sinister. Like he was like he was brutal, which is
Okay.
what they always write about with Bane. Bane didn't wait to have dialogue. He was hurting people. That's what he did. So
But that's a character that shouldn't have been there.
yeah, it made no
The
sense. to bring
Joker
Bane.
shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Nothing
Yeah,
about the Joker
I think
should
they
have been there.
butchered that Joker.
They couldn't help themselves.
Yeah, they
They
that
stayed
Joker.
away from the Joker for like
By the
3
way-
whole seasons.
By the way, good actor. I thought the kid that played
Montague?
it, yeah,
Everything?
good
Yeah.
actor. But they butchered it.
I agree.
They butchered.
But you can't, like, the whole idea of Joker is he doesn't have an origin.
No.
And he's the product of Batman cleaning up the streets.
Mhm.
That's the whole reason you have Joker.
Yeah.
Joker's like the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
So I didn't think they should have even had it. They should have had nice little cute references to things like that.
Sure.
But not bring him out.
No, I think they should leave the Joker alone.
Right.
Definitely. To be honest.
Anyway, we were talking about that because of gosh, we got a tangent on that one.
Yeah, that was
The 1 hour photo brought us to some weird places. I only have 3 other movies on this list. RV. You ever see RV?
parts, but
He's the dad, and
Yeah.
he takes his family on a It kind of reminds me of like anything that can go bad will go bad. Vacation,
Yeah.
Vegas Vacation, Christmas
oh yeah,
Vacation. It's kind of in the vein of those movies. Like stuff goes wrong, and at the end the family comes together and hugs. It was kind of like that. I didn't particularly like that movie. I didn't think it was a very well written movie, but it's there,
Yeah.
and it made a lot of money because it's Robin Williams, and it's toward the end of his peak. So then he did the 3 movies in the Night at the Museum trilogy.
oh yeah.
He was Teddy Roosevelt in
Okay.
those 3 movies. Did you ever see any of the Night at the Museum
Nope.
movies? The first one's not bad. First one's a really cool premise, really cool concept. Like the stuff at the museum comes to life, and really cool movie. I think they tried to make it bigger and better in the second and the third one, and I don't know how I feel about those exactly. But they're aimed at kids, and they do the job. They made a lot of money. Ben Stiller did a really good job with those movies. But that's an ensemble cast. There's a ton of people. Robin Williams just happens to be one of the cast members.
Yeah.
That actually, we were talking earlier about the actors that get the moniker of and or with. That was one of those movies where he gets and Robin Williams
Okay.
at the end. Like, you can tell Robin Williams is definitely pined hard to get paid for that movie trilogy. Old Dogs. This is toward the end of his career. Old Dogs.
Keep going. I'm listening. Old dogs.
I can't believe you're on your phone right
Sorry.
now. How unprofessional.
Yeah.
Were you looking up Old Dogs?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
say
yeah.
yes. Just say yes.
Yeah. Old
Okay.
dogs.
Old Dogs. That was, I think, it had John Travolta and
Oh, the bikes.
William
When they're on
H.
the bikes?
No, that's Wild Hogs.
Oh,
Wait, was Old Dogs? Who was in Old Dogs? I don't even remember.
I have no clue.
I was thinking you were
I got
Wild
it.
Hogs when you started saying
Wild
that.
Hogs is a different movie,
Oh.
I don't even know what movie you're
and it's
talking about.
equally as terrible in my
What the
opinion.
heck is Old Dogs?
Yeah, Old Dogs. I'm trying to remember which cast was in Old Dogs. If you just give me a minute, Zach, we'll breathe it
Oh,
down my
come
neck,
on.
dude. Gosh.
Because I feel like you got it wrong.
Okay. Hold on. Old Dogs. There it goes. There it goes. John Travolta. Hey, how about that? Seth Green. Kelly Preston. Bernie Mac's in that. Matt Dillon. There's some people in it.
Okay.
We'll just say that. There's some peeps.
What is the movie?
I'll give you the synopsis. Two
Alright.
friends and business partners find their lives turned upside down when strange circumstances lead them to be the temporary guardians of 7-year-old twins.
I don't even remember hearing about
I
that
have no
movie.
idea what that is.
Yeah, I mean, toward
That's
the end of his career, it was a Disney movie. It was the tail end of when Disney movies still said Walt Disney on them.
Okay.
Now they just say Disney. So, just food for thought. I also think that when they started putting just Disney on movies, that's when they started to tank. But that's a story for another podcast. That is the only movie I had left of note. I mean, Happy Feet. I don't know. He was in a couple movies, but not many of substance toward the end of his life.
Yeah, because I don't remember.
He was in a lot of he was in his feels, I'll say, toward the end of his life. Really tragic though. I think that he was one of the most talented actors in Hollywood in his career.
Yeah.
And try to tell me that I'm
No, I agree.
wrong. On that note, I made a list of comedians who are good actors. This is where I want you to jump in.
All right.
We've beaten to death Jim Carrey.
Sure.
He's definitely on this list. Actors who started as comedians that turned out to be good actors.
Okay.
So for sure, Jim Carrey's on the list with
Yep.
Robin Williams.
All right.
Who else would you put on this list? It'd be as long as you want. I just want to hear some ideas of comedians.
That comedians and kind of actors like.
I'm not talking about like Daniel Tosh made a cameo
No,
in this
no.
movie.
I'm
Yeah.
saying like Damon Wayans is a good one.
David
Okay.
Wayans.
Good.
He's a heck of a
But would you
chance.
call him a good actor?
Oh
Yeah, he's been in serious movies
Oh, yeah.
and comedies and stuff.
Um,
He's a really good actor.
Was he in the original Dungeons and Dragons with Jeremy Irons?
I don't know.
I
that.
don't. He might have. I don't have a clue on that one.
You
I
gotta
actually like that movie.
You got to remember, like, he was a guy that kind of blocked his own shot on some stuff. Like, he was on SNL and was fired, which he did on purpose because he didn't like the way they were leading his career. And like, he's one of the rare guys that was fired and disliked at the time. But Lorne Michaels brought him back to host. You know what I mean? Like, had respect for the guy and probably understood why he kind of did what he did.
Sure.
But
No, he's done some.
when you talk about, like, Joe Rogan's talked about Damon Wayans being one of the best comedians of all time because
Interesting.
he was a comedian that you could love or hate because he loved to do crowd work and you hated to follow him because he'd have the crowd so pissed off by the end of the night because he just did, like, he was like, he could do his material or he could literally just pick the crowd apart. And he was, like, funny,
Well,
just
Joe
truly
Rogan
funny
would
of a
think.
guy.
Yeah, Joe Rogan
Absolutely.
would think that was funny because that's
Well,
his
I
style of
I actually thought that was a weird choice for Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan knows a lot of guys, and for him to say that Damon Wayans and guy did Insomnia, comedian. He's old now. I'm trying to think. Why can't I remember?
He has reverse Benji.
Yeah. He did a tour where he's with it's him and another dude. Give me a second. I was
know,
prepared
I'm
for any
trying.
of this.
No.
You're not prepared.
God, I love this
yeah.
guy too. Why do I forget comedians I love?
You know who else is in Insomnia? Robin Williams.
He talks about
Yeah, he is in that.
Talking about Al Pacino?
no.
Pat Dooley?
No, this is
Nicky Cat?
It's not.
Larry Holden?
Maybe that's not the movie he's thinking of.
it's not a movie, it's a show.
Oh, show.
Well, then that ain't it.
It's on Comedy Central.
Insomniacs
Tell?
After School?
David Tell. David Tell.
David
Oh,
Tell.
So Joe Rogan said that he thought that everyone has copied David Tell and the other guy we were talking about, Damon Wayans.
Wow.
He said that he thought that a lot of comedians had copied those two.
I thought
Well-
David Tell copied other people.
No, he says
No.
that he's one of the originators because
No,
he had cadence to his comedy. So, like, when he would deliver, he wouldn't just deliver it like a drunk guy that's on stage doing comedy. Like, he actually had a way of saying things that reached people, and he thinks that he influenced a lot of comedians. But there's an argument for all sorts of comedians that influenced other comedians that they may never recognize or say. You know, like Patton Oswalt, they think that that's Mark Maron baby. They think that Mark Maron is the reason why we have a Patton Oswalt. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think Patton Oswalt's terrible.
I think he was great for a while. I thought he was a great comedian. Now he's
I don't even like his delivery. I'm just not a fan.
Sure.
I'm just not a fan.
Sure.
Since you're talking about more comedians and becoming actors, Eddie Murphy.
Now, would you call him a good actor?
Well, now, if you watch his first stuff, like the action movies he's in,
Sure.
those were good movies.
They were all right.
It was until, as when it comes to, he did the more corny movies.
See, now I didn't put him on the list because, like, the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
But
I'm
that's
saying,
his Miss Doubtfire. I mean, like, no, it's bad.
But I'm talking, like, at the beginning, like, when he was doing the action movies and stuff like that. Around that time,
He was Beverly Hills Cop, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop, another 48 Hours.
Yeah, those are okay.
Yeah.
Those are good actors.
But
Was
I'm
it
saying
Harlem Nights?
Harlem
That was
Nights,
it.
he was
Harlem
good in
Nights
that.
is awesome.
But yeah, as you get further down the road, no, not so much. I just threw that out there.
I think he's good in Shrek. How big
Is
do you have
Eddie
to be?
Murphy, like, maybe Eddie Murphy's not as well-rounded, but I thought he was great in movies.
Yeah. Great.
I thought he was great in movies.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Probably
you
not the
enjoy
same
him
level.
in movies
Yeah.
that are serious.
Yeah.
Okay. My criteria was, like, for good acting, a guy you can put in any role, and they would be
Okay.
Well, see,
Good.
that's where I don't think you could put Robin Williams in any role. I think he.
What role would you not put him in?
Well, that's.
Just give me a hypothetical. There's a billion movies.
You know,
at
he
your
couldn't be
fingertips.
Batman. No,
I mean, he was Peter Pan.
I mean, he could.
If he spiked
fact-
his hair,
In fact,
if he spiked his hair like they did in
most people that have been Batman couldn't pull off Batman. You know what I mean? Like,
most people that weren't good at Batman. Like you talked
Yes.
about the Dark Knight earlier.
yeah,
I think Christian Bale was not a good Batman, and that's
I
I
thought
think
he was-
contrary to a lot of people's beliefs.
I thought he was a good version of Batman. I don't think the best Batman's been played yet.
Really? Okay.
No,
Are you hoping for like the embodiment?
no,
of
I
Kevin
wish they
Conroy?
would stop. I wish they'd stop doing it because I think they've butchered it so many times. Like Ben Affleck was a good version of it,
He was an older
For a little while. and then it just got like, okay, you're beating this to death. Like, it's just.
I thought it was too comical.
I think they've just they've been searching for this right person to play the role. And I think this is the same thing they did with Superman. Even though I think that the current Superman is a good Superman, they could recast it and it could be even better. Who knows? But they just keep
They
doing
did,
it and
actually.
doing it and doing it, you know?
They just recast
Have
it.
they?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the new
That's why
Superman movie.
It's why I enjoy the premise that they haven't recreated an Iron Man yet. They will,
They will.
but they haven't yet, which I think that kind of drives the point that Robert Downey Jr. did a really good job. Like,
Sure.
he really nailed that.
That was a career-defining role.
Just like Captain America, Chris Evans. He really nailed it. It's going to be hard for fans that know those actors playing it to accept a new actor playing those.
I'm going to push back on Chris Evans.
I
don't think he was a good actor.
I
I think he was
I think
stiff
he was
as
great.
a board.
I think he was great for Captain America. Stiff as a board, but he was just a regular kid. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he had like the charisma and he had like it was a kid that wanted to be something. He wanted to be somebody. But like, you're talking about your average Joe that just had a heart of gold.
Yeah.
So you're not talking like that's as flat as a board as you get, right? Like,
No, not his delivery of lines. Or I don't know. I'm not sold on Chris Evans.
well, I just think he delivered it was a never-ending battle of a guy that really didn't know how to use his body all the way. You know what I mean? The first movie was great about that. There's a scene where he's running and he's running too fast for him. His faster he's ever ran before, and he turns a corner and wipes out. It just shows like he has no idea how to use this yet. Then as the movies go on, he uses his body better. He gets better. He gets better. There's growth. Could someone played it better? Maybe.
I don't even know who that would be.
You know what I mean? But like, I thought he did.
Well-
I thought he did a great job.
So, real quick, going back to your list, Who do you got on your
Are
list?
you tapped out? Do you guys have any other ideas?
Well, no. I want to hear
He
your
asked
ideas
us.
because I'm
He
kind of
asked
curious.
us our ideas.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of
Before
curious.
I delve into mine,
No, go ahead, because we might agree with you and stuff. So I'm kind
Well,
of curious.
I
Well,
have.
you got anybody else? I mean, I said a couple.
Comedians? I don't know. I'm definitely not. I wasn't mentally prepared for that, but
Yeah.
No, it's okay. After
I would have said. I definitely would have said Damon Wayans for sure.
I agree with you. I didn't even think about it.
And we said Jim Carrey. That's pretty obvious. I know there's someone I'm missing.
Let me give you my
Well,
short list.
real quick, I throw
Okay.
there's like going along with Robin Williams. You have Billy Crystal. He was really good because he did.
Is he a stand-up though?
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
He was stand-up.
okay.
Yeah, he started up as a stand-up,
Yeah.
and then he started doing serious movies.
I would
and
absolutely put Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
put
Billy
him there,
Crystal
sure.
is what he kind of reminds you. It's like the kind of the opposite
Super
of
funny guy.
Robin Williams.
Super
You
funny
know,
guy.
when you think about it.
Yeah,
So
his delivery is what makes him funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
His
that's
dry
another
humor.
stand-up that I would say would be part of that list. He's done a lot of different movies.
Okay. I have a short.
Go
list.
ahead.
Steve Martin.
Okay.
He can be serious, Father of the Bride. He can be that guy. He can be in comedies. Martin Short. I feel like he's in a lot of goofy comedy movies, but he can be serious. He can be in a serious role. I could be talked out of Martin Short.
I don't think I remember him in
What
any
serious
serious
roles?
stuff.
You got anything? Because I can't think of anything.
Of course, you'd ask me that. Off
Sorry.
the top of my head, no.
I get. That's the only thing.
And
I'm
because
not,
of
I'm not
that,
saying,
I will take him off of my
No,
Well,
I'm not
that's
saying
fine.
that.
I think he's
I think
good.
he's good, but I can't think of.
I think he's good for the transition from stand-up to movie. Yeah, I think he does a great job.
Right, but my criteria was like actor.
Okay.
You could be put in a role,
Sure, but
even
did he,
if it's serious.
did he ever put himself in a situation
I don't
where
think
he
he
was?
did.
I think he just did what he did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the other three, I had Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I thought that he had some good roles. I think he's missed some roles, but I think that he was a musician in one. Like he's good at being funny or serious. I had Chris Rock. Chris Rock is mostly known for being funny. Like lately, the last I'll say decade, he's pulled in some really good performances in like set pieces, like period pieces. I didn't see Spiral. Did you see Spiral?
No,
Was it any good?
I need to watch it just because I'm kind of curious.
He's going to be serious in that one too. So I thought that he was kind of a good transition actor as well. But this is the one that kind of takes the cake for me. Michael Keaton. He's absolutely a great transition. Most
Sure.
people don't even know he was a comedian.
Yeah.
He's a serious actor.
Honestly, that's why I wouldn't have thought of it because I forgot.
Well,
I
and
actually
another thing
forgot
is, I
about
think
that.
he made his bones off of more serious movies.
Well, people forget he was Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And he played all these quirky, like, funny movies where he was like, what was that movie where he's like the dad and he multiplies himself in multiple states? Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like he's in these funny, quirky movies.
But he does serious roles.
But he does really
Oh.
serious roles.
What's the one where he's the prisoner and they're trying to get his blood marrow and he ends up have you seen that one?
Oh
No,
yeah,
sounds
because he
bananas.
escapes, right?
Yeah,
he does
'cause
this whole
it's-
series of things to
yeah.
escape. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a death row inmate that is going to voluntarily give his bone marrow to this cop's son.
Ugh.
But then he comes up with this big plan to try to escape, and the whole idea is they're trying to trap him in the hospital and
Yeah.
catch him and stuff. He's really good at that.
Sounds bananas.
I think
I wish I knew that.
I would say on the list he's probably the most underrated for sure.
He's made a huge comeback.
That guy is. Yeah, I think he's done a little bit of everything.
Just
and
look at him
knocked
in
it out of the park.
simple.
Yep.
Just something early that most people know him from is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The seriousness, bad guy
Yeah.
in that. Like he played that
Vulture.
yeah. Like that's him. Like that's great.
He's convincing as a cocky villain,
Yeah.
as somebody that can be a little arrogant and not oversell it. For sure,
Right.
for
He's
sure.
menacing.
And I think he's convincing as a Batman. I never meant to say that he wasn't a good Batman. It's just he's not a flashy Batman because think of the times.
He was.
I think he's the
without trying to go
Sure.
into it or anything. But did you? I mean, I thought he did good in Flash.
he was incredible.
I saw that clip. I haven't seen the movie, but I did see that clip, and it seemed that was a good way to handle his Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Batmans
Kinda put
to
a
come
bow
after
on it,
them, were flashier because obviously,
See better
times,
CGI.
CGI.
cartoony.
He never got the opportunity to do what the future Batman's got to do because
Sure.
of film, obviously. You know what I mean?
But I think have you seen The Flash? Okay, so I think you'll see when you see The Flash, they did a better job of showing his athletic ability.
Who's that? Which one?
Michael
I
Keaton.
watched that. I just said I watched that scene. I did watch that clip.
Like everything.
There's a couple, yeah. But under a minute here, I'm going to wrap it up. Good actors that are comedians in homage to Robin Williams. This episode and a half is dedicated to Robin Williams. Thank you for watching. I'll leave you with one final random thought. I think that if you want to update Google Maps convincingly, you should put cameras on garbage trucks.
There you go.
And then you would have up-to-date Google Maps.
And
That's
watch
your-
out for little Benji Button's disease awareness. That's what this episode is about.
It was sponsored by Benji.
Benji Button's
Bless.
disease. Or reverse.
See you next
All
time.
right, that's it.